I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas.
Hello, everyone. Uncle Charles Wallingford back again with another style, fashion, image video. And I want to talk to you about something that bleeds into other things with this subject matter. The whole purpose of this video and other videos is it's a different way, a different take on getting people to be better people all around. I want you to look good. I want you to smell good. I want you to make sound decisions. And sometimes we don't make the best decisions because of our hobby. One of my hobbies and one of how I got into certain aspects of fashion and everything else is because I got into watches. I love watches. I love the whole thing. I love horology, the actual science of timekeeping. And there's a lot of science in that. You got chemistry, you got physics, um, other things like that that go with making a watch or a timepiece and keeping track of time. And I'm a big proponent of a man having a good watch. A man should have a good watch, and the fact that you spent time, effort, and of course money on your timepiece says a lot about that individual, but it can go wrong. And this video is about your hobby going too wrong, even if it's a practical hobby. And I'll get back to that part too. What got me to think about this video, what prompted me to make this video was I have a friend that I met online through making YouTube videos on my other channel years ago. We've been friends for this guy and I have been friends for years. And he recently made a purchase of a new Rolex watch. Now, this particular Rolex watch is not your typical Submariner. I can't remember the reference. I'll put the reference on the screen, but this is an elevated Submariner. Everybody knows that black basic Submariner that almost everybody has and has been faked so many times and copied so many times for the style of it. But there are different levels of it. And here is the picture of that watch right now. This is a beautiful watch. It's a sound timepiece. I uh, I like the way this watch is designed, the color scheme and everything else. Beautiful watch. Now, that is not, of course, what I would have purchased, but we're definitely going to talk about how that was, to me, a terribly impractical purchase. And I'm going to come to that, it's like, that's his decision. If he can afford it, he should get it. And that's a problem. That's a serious problem. If you can afford it, doesn't mean you can get it. And there's a difference between can you afford it, should you budget for it? Can you afford it, and should you actually get it right now? And that is what a lot of people have done incorrectly in this country. We have purchased things we should not have purchased only because we could afford it. And your hobby shouldn't bleed into your life. And when you're spending that type of money, if you're not familiar, that's not a $10,000 watch where you had to be on a waiting list to get. And if you're on a waiting list, guess what you're not doing? You're not getting a discount of any type. You're not haggling. A lot of people don't realize until present times, you could haggle at jewelry stores. You can get a discount where there was no sale. It is very common. I've never purchased a watch from a jewelry store, the jeweler, and paid full price. Never. Never ever. And I won't to this day. And because Rolex is so popular right now, you just can't get them. And Rolex purposely did that. They're not that special. There's watches that cost just as much as Rolex that are just as nice. You have watches that cost less than Rolex that are just as nice. You have watches that cost less than Rolex that are better. And you have watches that are more expensive than Rolex and better, more prestigious on a basic Rolex. Because that particular Rolex, of course, is not an entry level. Entry level for Rolex is around $8,000. So here's the thing. Before I sat down to make this video, and I said, you know, it's not fair, even though I'm not going to mention his name, it's not fair that I don't talk to him beforehand, where I just come out of left field saying how he's wrong and I'm right for feeling the way I'm feeling. So I said to him, I said, you spent I'm going to make this video, and before I make the video, I want to talk to you about it, and I want to get your take. I want to get your argument. What's your counter to what I've said, what I'm saying, that I don't think that was a good purchase? And he said, well, what about the fact that this is a watch I always wanted to have? That's a great argument. If you absolutely have the money, it's not going to put you in debt. You're not extending yourself. It's not much I can say. It really isn't. It's not much I can say. However, it's still some holes in that argument. Where was it time yet? All these videos I'm making, again, were about being a better person and this and that, the other. Well, the reality of it is I'm making these videos to recruit more warriors in the fight. We're in a fight in the United States right now. If you haven't paid attention, or maybe you don't realize, there's a lot of people not getting married, a lot of people not having kids, a lot of people who are not living the lives that are conducive to the future. And the thing is, I said to him, okay, that's great. But my question is, if you die tomorrow, who gets that watch? The reason why you get a watch, and that watch, is for practicality. It's practical. It's a practical reason. The hobby of watch collecting, not only is a person that's usually pretty intelligent, and that's watch collecting. I know him from watch collecting. I know the other watches he's had before that. He is into watch collecting. He's a very intelligent person. Very intelligent. He has absolute objective proof that he's intelligent. And his enjoyment and his interest in timepieces, horology, and everything else shows that he's a smart person. And I said to him, the reason why you got that watch, because, you know, it's practical. It's a practical thing. It's completely impractical to buy something like that and not pass it on to somebody. And he said, we was having conversations back and forth, and I'm jumping around a little bit. And he was like, yeah, I'm a financial planner. I'm in finance. That's what I do. People give me money to handle for them. I said, what a better reason to make a better choice and know the whole situation. A lot of people don't understand, or maybe you have seen on TV where a person dies and some long lost uncle gives them hundreds of thousands of dollars, gives them $1 million, gives them land in some part of the country they've never been to, or another country, and they go to that country and they have an adventure of how to handle everything. That's fucking TV. That's not real. It's not real. What's going to happen if you don't have a will, and most men who aren't married, he's not married, he doesn't have kids. Most people who are not married and don't have kids, they don't have the next step planned. And he doesn't. Because I asked him about that, and he skirted around the issue. We'll get to that in a second. I said to him, what are you going to do if you die tomorrow? And he said, I don't know. Meaning, who's going to get that watch? Who's going to get that watch if you die tomorrow? I don't know. Some family member. That's not what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not what happens. The world becomes real for many different reasons. You have different parts in your life that makes you think, okay, oh wow, I'm here now. One part of your life is if you get in a relationship, you get married. The biggest thing is when you have children. When you have children, you realize, okay, this world's a little bit different. Well, I need to treat this world a little bit different. Shit just got real. Well, another thing that is a serious situation where you learn shit just got real if you have to bury somebody. And I don't mean go to a funeral. When I said that to people, they get it. Oh yeah, I buried my uncle, I buried my grandfather, and no. I'm talking about you taking care of the funeral service. You take care of the estate. You take care of the organization of what are we going? Are we like if it's starting from the beginning, the doctor comes to you and says, okay, at what point are we not resuscitating? That's when life gets real. That happened to me and it changed a lot for me. So I'm asking you to understand. I went through some things. You got to trust me. It's not what you think. And so when you die, you don't have a will. It doesn't matter who the other people are. That those assets, those things that are worth money, don't automatically go to your next of kin, no matter who they are, if you don't have a will, unless you're already married. If you're married, your wife takes care of everything. It's over. Done. Your wife can figure out the rest of it. But if that's not the case, your local government will seize your things, your assets, your car, your house, your land, or whatever, for safekeeping. They don't just take it, but at some point, they may not be able to find who this belongs to, and then they absorb it. So all your life, if you don't have your shit together, you didn't want to get married, you didn't want to have kids, all your life, who are you fucking working for? Your local government, maybe your state government, maybe your federal government is going to get it. That's what you did. Your whole life, what was it for? You worked for the government that spends money on things that I don't care who you are, what side of the aisle you on. They spent money on things you completely disagreed with. Maybe you don't agree with the war. Maybe you don't agree with immigration. Maybe you don't agree with not helping the poor enough. But that's all your money's going to go to. It's going to go to somebody you don't know at all. Why not your assets, your money, whatever you earned, hard earned throughout your life, go to somebody that you know, somebody you love, somebody you was cultivating to take your watch from you, and they will look at your watch that you once owned and get motivated and say, I'm not letting down dad or granddad. But if you want to be hedonistic, you want to go with, I always wanted it and now I can get it, so I'm going to get it. Okay. But like I said, there's a wrong way to doing it. And when you're looking back and like come back home, and I said to him, yeah, that's great, but you could have spent that money on going to another country, and finding a fine woman and gone back and forth and still bought a nice watch, bought a $10,000 watch. He could have done all those things and bought a wedding ring and an engagement ring. He could have done all those things with that much money. Of course, maybe he still has the money. But the thing is, he's not doing that. He has these nice things, but he's coming home to an empty home. He has these nice things and he's not making somebody or getting somebody ready to take over for him. And that's my argument. And that's what I make these videos about. That's why I have these marriage videos that only a handful of people watch, but that's all right. It's all right. But anyway, that's the video for now. I hope this helped you out. Hope this put things in a different light. Maybe you will understand where I'm coming from. Maybe you don't. Maybe you disagree. But like I said, there is a wrong way of doing things. There is absolutely beautiful things, and some things are ugly. Life's not fucking fair. I'm Uncle Charles Wallingford. I'm just here to help.